guys, let's talk real talk here. Let's cover some questions, the most seen or heard questions since I've been doing this. Whether I'm seeing them on some of the Prime Facebook pages, which I highly recommend you checking out. There's a lot of good information on there, but there's also a lot of bad. It's like anything else on the internet. Everybody has to have a comment or an opinion, and half of them don't have a clue. So anything that I talk about is what I have heard over the past 3 months or 2.5 months of going through this process. The time I spent here in Springfield for PSD, questions I've had, questions that my little group, 4 of us that went through PSD together and have been going through TNT together, questions we've had, are questions that I've heard people asking in class during this upgrade process, or just in general talking, sitting in the cafeteria around the campus in here, or over at Millennium. Most of it seems to do with pay. People want to know about their pay, and that seems to be a touchy subject around here. People, the instructors or other individuals that you ask for a little more clarification on how pay works and what's happening, they all seem to get a little aggravated, and I don't understand that. Like, we're all grown adults. I'm a grown adult. I have responsibilities at home. I have a house to pay for, kids to feed, a car, a truck, dogs to feed, plenty of bills to pay. So I don't understand where the aggravation comes from. We need to know these things. I need to understand the weeks that I'm going to have pay coming in and the weeks that I don't have pay, so that I can plan accordingly, because they're not paying enough through these phases for me to be surviving, pretty much. But we know what the pay is before coming in, and I will address those too, just to clarify. So let's start with PSD, the very first phase, prime student driver. You're going to come here, Salt Lake City or Pittston. You are not an official prime employee at that point. That's pretty much your interview, your hiring process. You have to come here and take your CDL test, pass it, get your CDL, and then you become a prime employee. Pay during PSD, you're not being paid. They're giving you a loan of $200 a week. Whatever you spend of that, you have to pay back. They're going to take it out of your check, up to $25 a week until the full amount is paid back. So if you spend $10, you're paying back $10. If you spend $400, you owe them $400 for that time during PSD. Everybody seems to get that twisted, like I'm supposed to be making $900. I have spoken with numerous students that their recruiters told them they would make $900 through the PSD phase. That is a lie. You will not. You are not a prime employee. And whatever you are paid and whatever you use, you will pay it back, okay, at $25 a week maximum. How long does it take for PSD? It is a minimum of 14 days once you get your badge, your green badge. You go through a couple of days of orientation. I think we got ours on day 2. 14 days from the time you get that green badge, you can test out, if your PSD instructor says that you are ready to test out. Can't do it before that. I've heard people say they've done it within the week of getting their badge. Everyone I have seen, every instructor I have talked to, is a minimum of 14 days before they can put your name on the list to be tested. That's what it was for us. All 3 of the guys that were with my trainer, we tested on day 14. Wasn't a day sooner than that. My buddy, that he got a different trainer, day 14, he tested, okay? So 14 days, 2 weeks, that's a loan of $400 for 2 weeks. If you use that $400, you are paying back $400. Now, you may not get to test on day 14. If you're not understanding the backing maneuvers, you haven't got the pre-trip inspection down, and it takes a little bit longer, that's fine. We all learn at a different pace. We all have a different set of skills when we get here. Some of us have dealt with that stuff before. So don't be discouraged by that. There have been people that have taken 4 and 5 weeks to get it done. You're going to get that $200 loan for all those weeks. If you use it, you're going to pay that back. Okay, so understand that. The day that you pass your CDL test, you're going to go into the basement, the bottom floor of the Plaza building, and you are going to become a prime employee. You're going to fill out your W-4, all your tax stuff. Even if you're going lease, you're going to fill out all this tax information because you are a company driver all through TNT. So the big thing with TNT right now, it is official as of yesterday. I can say 100% that it is factual. I've heard rumors all week since I've been here. But as of yesterday, I know personally that it is factual. TNT is going to 50,000 miles instead of 30. Now, I done 30,000. All the 3 other guys that were in my little group, we all done 30,000 miles, or are doing 30,000. There's 2 that are still out there. So you're going to be doing 50,000 miles. You are a prime employee at that point. You are a company driver for Prime. So you'll do your W-4, all that. You will get a W-2 at the end of the year for your tax purposes for that. But you are going to start getting paid $900 a week. Now, between PSD and TNT phase, this was one of the biggest things that everybody talked about. This is by far the biggest question I've heard out of anybody's mouth around here. More people have asked this than anything else. If I have to wait 4 weeks for a TNT trainer, do I get paid during that time, whether I stay here or go home? The answer to that is unequivocally yes. You get paid $900 a week. You have to call your dispatch once a month. They'll give you an email or a phone number. You can email or call that number 1 time a week, whether you stay here or go home, and say, I am available for dispatch. You have to do that. If you do that on Monday morning, you have to do it the next Monday morning. You can't do it Tuesday. You won't get paid for Monday. You have to do it Monday morning. I am available for dispatch. That is the end of the conversation, okay? Now, the wait time for your TNT trainer. We had one guy that tested Monday morning, and he left here to head back home to South Carolina, and he didn't make it halfway home, and his TNT trainer called him and said, I'm picking you up tomorrow morning. He left the very next day. Had to go home, get a few things done, met his TNT trainer, and left out. We had another guy that tested out the same day I did, Wednesday, and he was gone by the following Sunday. Me, I tested out Wednesday morning. By 8 o'clock, I was done, and I had to stay here for a couple more days. I was here about 4 days. I left and went home, and I was home for a little over a week before I got my TNT trainer. I got paid for being at home. The other guy in our group, he stayed here for 4 weeks waiting on a TNT trainer. And he got paid the whole time he was here, okay? And that's one of the reasons he stayed here, is because he had been told over and over and over, if you go home, you're not getting paid. I am here to debunk that. You are getting paid if you go home between PSD and TNT. All right, so now that is covered. You're an official employee. You've stayed here, went home, you've got your TNT trainer. It is a minimum. It was a minimum of 30,000 miles for us. It's going to be 50,000 for any student that comes after October 17th, which is this coming Monday. Today is Thursday the 13th. It will be 50,000 miles minimum. Can you get off the truck as soon as you hit 50,000 miles? Absolutely. You're an adult. You do you. Are you going to get paid? No, you're not. You need to be working with your fleet manager and your trainer. Coming up, when you're getting within a couple thousand miles of that, you need to start conversations with these people saying, hey, what is the plan? What are we doing? They're going to get you routed back to one of the 3 terminals, Salt Lake, Springfield, or Pittston, okay? Now, you may have a load that is taking you to San Diego, California when you hit your 50,000 miles, and then they have to route you up to Washington and down to Arkansas and then to Springfield, and by the end of it, you're at 55,000 miles. They will get you here. okay? But as soon as you get here and they have started that process, they've called you in for upgrade, they're actively working to get you back to a terminal. You can get off the truck at that point and continue to get paid as long as you stay at one of the terminals. Now, if I went home, I was planning on going home for a week during this upgrade process, I would not get paid. If you go home, if you choose to go to the house, if you have your TNT trainer and your fleet manager route you to your house and you get off that truck before you come in to do upgrade, you're not getting paid. Okay? That is factual. I know that for a fact now. With me, until Saturday morning at 8:11 a.m. when I got off of my truck, my trainer's truck, here in Springfield, I was under the impression that I was not getting paid through this whole upgrade process. Whether I stayed here in Springfield or I went home, I didn't get paid. I found out that day that that was a lie. What I had been told that whole time was not correct. I am getting paid to stay here in Springfield and wait for my truck. Be mindful of who you talk to, okay? There's a bunch of old timers around here that you'll see sitting outside the campus inn here. You'll see sitting over at Millennium Building. Oh, Prime is the worst place I've ever worked for. This is a sorriest company. You ain't gonna make no money. You can't make no money with Prime. They gouge you for every penny you're worth. Blah 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 blah. Then you ask them how long they've been here. They've been working here 20 years. All right, you're stupid. That's the only way I know. You're stupid. If you've been here for 20 years and it sucks that bad, shame on you. That's all I can say. Be mindful of who you get your information from. Also, with the instructors, we were literally this past Tuesday during upgrade classes, we were told by one instructor that once Success Lease calls us to come look at a truck and we turn that truck down, we are no longer getting paid and we are no longer getting a free hotel room to stay in. Not 2 hours later, a lady comes in from Success Leasing. The same question was asked to her. If we turn a truck down, do we stop getting paid? Absolutely not. Now, if you turn 4 or 5 trucks down because you're waiting on this perfect truck, they're not going to continue to pay you to just sit here and give you a free room because you want a specific truck. That makes sense. But you will get paid if you turn down a truck. Because I'm thinking, I've been a mechanic for a long time. I see things on vehicles that a lot of people don't see. Or look at it differently. And if anybody is here and you are looking at your truck and you see my video and you need help, reach out to me. I'll come go over a truck with you. I promise. I got nothing else to do until I get mine. I will come and go over a truck with you. We'll look at the drive line. We will look at things that maybe you don't know to look at or don't really understand what the piece of paper is saying. So I will come help you do that. Now, between those two answers, between two different instructors, within a couple of hours of one another, am I going to get paid if I turn down a truck? I have no idea. Don't have a clue. If I see it, my first truck, and there's something that I am not comfortable with, I'm not willing to take the chance on, I'm going to turn it down. That's just plain and simple. I'm here to make money, and I don't need something that is going to break on me nonstop or cause an issue for me in the first couple weeks that's going to cost me money. So I will turn that down, and I will learn then whether or not I get paid or I don't get paid. That's about the best I can tell you. So when that happens, whether I turn a truck down or I accept the first one I see, you'll know about it. I'll either be showing you the truck I got or telling you my Cash App and everything so you can send me money to eat on, because I won't be getting paid. Or I will be getting paid. I'll tell you either way. Just like everything else through this whole process, I'll keep you informed. So I say be wary of who you talk to. That includes freaking instructors. It seems like there's a massive lack of communication. You can ask 3 people and you're going to get 3 different answers. And we have proven that theory. It's no longer a theory. That is factual. We have proven that time and time again between the 4 of us and the questions that we have asked. And we all ask the same question, and we get different answers from different individuals that are in the same role, that have the same objective to get us to a point where we have our trucks and we're professional drivers. So that is aggravating. It really is. So be prepared for that. So understand your pay. That's the best I can tell you for pay. You're going to get paid between PSD and TNT whether you stay here or go home. Once you come in for upgrade process, you have followed the guidelines. Talk to your trainer, your fleet manager, get them to get you scheduled and routed to your terminal. You're going to get paid as long as you are here and you're waiting on a truck. You go home, you're not. Okay, so understand that. That's about the best I can explain those. The last thing I'm going to talk about is insurance. If you're going lease, you are not a company driver for Prime. You are a subcontractor. You own your own business. You will be setting up an LLC. Abacus was the easiest part of all of this. Not going to lie. I walked in there, handed them my folder. I'd already filled out all my paperwork, handed them that folder, and they're like, okay, we'll let you know as soon as everything's done. I'm like, I don't have to talk to nobody. This is it for me? And she's like, yeah, you've done everything. It's like 3 or 4 pieces of paper. And within 4 hours, my LLC was done. I had an email. Everything was up. I had my little certificate. Everything is good to go. I had my EIN number. We're done. Easiest part of the whole process. But your health insurance. You are an independent contractor as a lease operator. You do not work for Prime as a company driver. Your health insurance is your responsibility. Enrollment First is here. Okay, they have a representative here at the campus. He's right past the Sims lab. There's a little office on the corner. He's usually sitting in there at his desk. There are posters on every wall through campus and over at the Millennium Building talking about Enrollment First. I have looked at it. It is a very good option. It really is. It's good coverage. It's expensive. It is not cheap. There are cheaper options out there, okay? I use USAA. If you're a veteran and you have that option to use USAA, I highly recommend it. Your premiums will be good. They will be better than Enrollment First. I am not going to tell what I pay. I am not going to advise anybody on their health insurance. I'm not going to say what this cost or that cost or whatever, because it's going to be different for everyone, and I'm not going down that rabbit hole with people. Well, you said it was going to be this, blah, 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 but mine come out and it's $700 more. We're not doing that. Research that yourself, okay? Prime is not going to offer you anything. Disability insurance, anything of that nature. And I had another guy that commented on, I think, my last video asking about insurance. So check out Enrollment First is the only advice I can give you. Prime is not going to give you anything else. And by looking at that website, it will address all the questions that you asked me. I have heard this. The only reason I'm addressing it is not because of his comment. I have heard people here, why is Prime not giving us insurance? Why are we not eligible for insurance? You decided to go lease. You want to make that money. Well, it costs money to make money, okay, and that is a massive question. Second to pay, you hear people talking about their health insurance and why is it so expensive and why does Prime not cover us under their health insurance as lease operators? You own your business. Prime owns their business and they take care of their employees. You are contracted with Prime. That's it, okay? So do your research on your health insurance. You have to have it or you're going to pay at tax time. You know, there's a fine or something. I've always had health insurance, so I know there's something. If you don't have it, they're going to gouge you somewhere. All right. Check out Enrollment First, but also go online and do some research. Now, be careful of what you fill out online. I made the mistake. Excuse me. When I first started this process of going out and filling out this little thing online to get a quote on health insurance, my phone rang 72 times in 9 minutes. 72 times in 9 minutes. That's no joke. I sat there in my office at my old job and counted how many times that phone rang in a 9-minute period. I had 72 voicemails. I am still 3 months late, almost 3 months later, getting phone calls about healthcare enrollment and what I can and cannot do. But if you're a veteran, I highly recommend USAA. Look them up, check it out. Your premiums will probably be much better than you can find just about anywhere. Check out all your big ones. You know, there's Blue Cross Blue Shield of pretty much every state out there, I believe. So look at those. And when you get here, be prepared to get the runaround with some questions, okay? I don't think it's that they don't know, or that they have the answer and they don't want to share it. It's just they don't know, and they're trying to come up with something. And unfortunately, that's usually worse than just saying I don't know. But that is an aggravating. That has really driven me crazy. Literally within 2 hours the other day, 2 different answers on the exact same question, and one means that I can pay my bills and one means I can't. And I still don't know what will happen, but it is what it is. That's all I got for you guys. Hopefully that helps some people with some money questions that they have coming here. Same questions I had, same questions I hear everybody ask. So I tried to address it the best I know how. If you have specific questions, comment, reach out to me, and I will do my best to answer them. If I don't have the answer, I'm going to tell you I don't have an answer. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you, blow fluff up your butthole to make you feel better about yourself or me feel better about myself. Plain and simple. As always, guys, keep your head up. Keep moving forward. Do your best to be your best. If you got a veteran in your life, hug them, kiss them, tell them you love them. Honest to God, it may save their life today. 22 a day is 22 too many. I'm going to do a video on that saying, the 22 a day. I was asked, somebody here recognized me from my videos, and they asked what I meant by the 22 a day. If you already know, kudos to you, reach out to your veterans. If you don't, I'll do a video kind of explaining some of the things that I say in here and why I say them. Other than that, guys, life happens every day, good or bad. Learn to roll with it. Do your best. Appreciate all you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever your little heart desires. Get to see this beautiful face every time I post something. Ring that little bell. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope your adventure at Prime is as good as mine has been, because overall, it has been good. I still highly recommend it. Appreciate you guys. Have fun out there.